We are live. We are live, and welcome everybody to the 29-minute Hangout. We are excited to bring you a brand new guest this week who's just going to brighten up your week for you. And so because we only have 29 minutes, and you know how long I can talk, I'm just going to be quiet. Katrina, you can handle the logistics here and introduce our guest for us.
Awesome. So super uber excited, guys. Welcome to the 29-minute Hangout with Chef D. Mercurio and myself, Chef Katrina Van Oudthusden. We have 29 minutes to pick the brain of one of my favorite special guests that's on today. You guys know the rules. This is a live Q&A session, so you do have the chance to ask her questions and see if you can stump our leader today. So this could be a lot of fun. But I'm super excited. I met Danielle. Well, we met by phone about 2 years ago. We had a great conversation, both kind of in the same mind space, and just really trying to figure out how we can help each other out in moving our businesses forward. And then from that, about a year ago, we met at No Excuses, had a blast, and I've just watched Danielle really bloom and grow and become this amazing leader over this last year. And I'm just super excited that she said yes to joining us on this 29-minute Hangout, because really a phenomenal leader, and just what she's done over the past year has been amazing to watch her do and achieve. So I don't want to waste any more time here. We do have very limited time, and it's going to go by fast, Danielle. I promise you it's going to go by quick. So what I would like for you is if you can do just a quick intro, a little background about yourself and how you got into this world of internet marketing where you are today. Like, where did that all start from?
Sure. Well, I'm a wife and mother of 5 kids, and I got into online marketing. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I got to online marketing because I was in an MLM, and I moved. We'd been in Las Vegas for almost 20 years. And we moved to Salt Lake City right when I decided that I was going to start building my business. And so, bye-bye 20 years of warm contacts, didn't know anybody. And I was working on another project with somebody who said, hey, there's this thing called online marketing and Mike Dillard, and you should really check it out. And so I did. I bought magnetic sponsoring. I upgraded to whatever the next level was, which at that point was a $2,000 purchase. And then it was shortly after that Elite Marketing Pro was created, and it was still in the beta testing stage. And so I joined in there because I really saw the value of being able to leverage myself, because I saw, I know what I'm able to do as one person, and I knew that I didn't have the skill set that I needed to do everything that I wanted to do. And so I saw, the potential of help with marketing, help with sales, help with, all the whole online, just everything, the technical aspect of it, which is not my strong suit at all. And so I jumped right in, and I was so excited about that. And then went to No Excuses the first time 2 years ago, and came right home from that, and we moved and had a chaotic year, and then went to No Excuses again last year, and we bought a house right before we came to NES, and came home, and it literally turned into the money pit. And I'm talking like $30,000 of plumbing and roof things, and like it literally, like, the house blew up. It was unbelievable. And my head was spinning for a while, and so finally things calmed down a little bit, and I was like, it's like now or never. I've got to do this thing. And so in January of this year, I was making my little SMART goals when the Ignition program started, and I was making about $600 to $700 a month in my online business. And that was good. That's better than a few gas tanks. That's like, that's my car payment and a few other things. And so I was feeling like I was making some progress. And so I set these goals. I was going to get to 1,000, and then I was going to get to 1,500, and then 2,500, and that was as far as I could think. Because that was like that was a lot of money. I've never made that much money ever because I've always been a mom. And so I started building my business and really focusing on it. And then when was it that we talked, Katrina? Was that 2 months ago?
Yeah, about 2 months ago.
About 2 months ago, I called Katrina up, and I always joke about Katrina kicks my trash up one side and down the other, takes all my excuses away and like slaps me around a little bit, and it's the best thing because she has a different perspective from mine, and it always helps me. So over the course of this last while, I had moved truly from a $10 an hour mindset. Like really a year and a half ago, I was going to go down to a store and get like a $9 an hour job, a retail job, just to have some more money coming in the door. And I thought, that's really not the right thing to do. And so I was working with another friend, and she said, you're a $50 an hour person. You just don't realize it. And so I was able to move into that space a little bit. And then after Katrina and I talked a couple of, 8 weeks ago or whatever, Katrina said, you have to stop thinking of yourself as a $50 an hour person. You're a $500 an hour person. And I was like, okay, well, I never thought of that before. That was a whole new thing. And even for all we talk about, building a six-figure business and all of that, it really is a mindset shift that you have to have. And you have to kind of move into that space. And so I've been doing that, and to cut to the chase, I had my first $3,000 month in May, and this is just the beginning. I've got all kinds of good things happening to keep moving that forward.
So that's awesome, and I can't believe you have 5 kids. You look so young. So there's 3 things that I wrote down, and Katrina probably has 10. But the 3 things that I wrote down of what you just spoke about was setting goals. Mm-hmm. That seems like that's something that you've done all along, and then focusing on on one of those goals or all those goals or whatever. But creating focus, and then a mindset shift. Really it sounds like you went from really from a low hourly rate value of your time to a higher hourly value of your time, and then to a transition to value for results rather than value for hours put in. Does that accurately summarize kind of what you were just talking about?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. I like that.
Okay, and so I guess one of the questions I have is, you said, and I know it wasn't all of a sudden, but this month is one of your best months, and you made 4 figures, multiple 4 figures this month. And what was it that made that change? I mean, how did that occur this month rather than 6 months ago?
Well, part of what happened was when I talked to Katrina, I started to think about, what is my skill set? And I had defined my skill set in one way, and then, which is something that I've been doing for 14 years, which is being an editor. And what I realized is that, there's a lot of people that can, fix text, and that is not a money skill. That's, it's valuable, but I'm never gonna, there's a cap to that. There's a cap on my time, there's a cap on the value of that. And so, hold on just one second. My neighbor's dog is barking.
My dog's bigger than that, and so is Katrina's.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's the neighbor's. I have a giant black lab who shakes the room when he barks. But the kids have safely locked him in the basement. Okay. So, anyway, so where was I? I was talking about the mindset shift. What was I talking about? Oh, about how I made that shift. So I realized that skill set wasn't a big money skill set, but I had marketing skills, and those marketing skills combined with my skill set that was a money skill, and that was something that I could really, take places. And as I was thinking about that last night, I thought, it occurred to me that that's the case with anything. If you have any skill set, you may be able to make some money and build a small business with that, but you take that skill set and add good marketing, and you have a real business. And that is something to me that is pretty universal. And so I was, I started getting excited, and I even was brainstorming for people who are, say, in EMP, who are building and they're working on it, but they're taking time and they're not sure how to create more cash flow in the short term and really build expertise. And I just started brainstorming all kinds of ideas for that, to where that could be a really significant business. So that's it. It's your skill set plus marketing. And that in itself creates a shift in what you do. So for me personally, I started creating other offers and higher ticket offers. And actually that's the fastest growing segment of my business right now, to where, I was doing $50 an hour work, and now I've moved into $100 an hour work very comfortably. And I've got people giving me rave reviews. In fact, I just got an email a couple hours ago that said, "We've heard you're the best there is at editing and copywriting, and we'd love to talk to you." And I was like, "No."
And you are.
Thank you very much.
And you are. So yeah, I mean, that's a real writer downer, and I actually wrote it down myself too. Is that, look at, anybody, no matter what you're doing in your life, you've developed some real competencies in doing what you do. Otherwise, you'd have been fired already. So you're good at doing what you're doing, and that's why you're in your position. And if you can combine marketing skills with that, you can create a business from that. And it doesn't matter what business anybody is in. Marketing is the key to that business being successful. In my opinion, a lot of people go into business for themselves, and they don't understand marketing. And if they understood what marketing can do for their business, then no matter what business you're in the business of marketing. That's really what it comes down to, and the marketing can grow any business. And so it's just a critical skill. Whether you want to start a marketing business or not, if you have a bicycle repair shop, it's important for you to understand the marketing part of it and put that into play. And one other keynote there that I picked up is you referred to using someone else to coach you a number of times. And so talk a little bit about the value of a coach.
Oh gosh, the value of a coach is huge. When you're working by yourself, you're at home, you've got your little office and your desk and your computer. It's really easy to get sidetracked, to not understand the next step that you're supposed to take and start spinning your wheels, or just to get off track, or you don't know what you don't know. So it's that unconscious incompetence, where you don't even know what the next question is. And so when you can turn to somebody and say, "Hey, this is where I am, what do I do?" And to have somebody who is a little farther down the path say, "Oh, well, you should do this," or, "Here's 3 options, which one do you like?" And then you can kind of, the clouds part, and you can kind of get a little sense of, who you are and what you're doing, and get a little perspective. And that is absolutely invaluable. There's just, there's no way to replace that, because otherwise I would still be spinning my wheels making $200 a month where I was a while ago, if it weren't for coaching. And and I've told Katrina this a couple of times. It really is, I really credit her with a lot of that. And my husband said to me, "Well, you're crediting EMP, but you've put in a lot of hard work. It's not magic." And I'm up some nights till 2 in the morning editing and getting projects done. It's work. I'm doing the work. But it's the focus and the understanding, and it's the skill set that's informing my work that makes all the difference. And so, yeah, the coaching is just huge.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I've asked tons of questions. Katrina, I'm gonna let you jump in here for a little while. I've got one question that I've held in reserve, and I'll keep that till later. But Katrina, why don't you jump in here? And I know you've got some things written down there, so because you always do.
I guess one of my questions is that you're a mom with 5 kids. And how are you building this business around that family? And like, do you still have time to interact with your kids, or you're still able to participate in in the things that you want to do with your children? And how are you wrapping what you're doing now around your life and your kids, and what does that look like?
For me, that looks like I try to do the bulk of my work during the day, because pretty much once the kids come home in the afternoon from school, I'm running. Yesterday was so crazy because now we're into summer, right? So the kids are out of school. So yesterday I was at the rec center 4 times. I did about 6 loads of laundry, 2 loads of dishes, and then I was on to Hangouts for 2 hours. So, and then I still had editing work to do. So, it was a long day, but I just have to schedule it around the times that I have to be a mom. And to me, that's the beauty of being able to set my own hours is, yes, there's hours, and yes, I'm working plenty of them, but I've got it scheduled around my family so that when it's mom time, and I'm there for them.
And do you communicate that with your clients when you tell them, like, hey, do you let them know the time frames you're available? Is that part of your communication out for part of your sanity?
Well, it hasn't been. The way my deadlines work is I have, I have mine structured so that I have 72 hours to get my work done. So I just, I do my work when I do my work and send it back to them, and so it hasn't been a big issue. If I have conference calls, or if I'm meeting with a client or Skyping, or if I'm doing any of that, I either schedule it at a time when I'm going to be available, or my kids are all big enough now. I don't have toddlers anymore. They're 18 to 8, so I can say to them, guys, I'm going to be on a Skype call, or I'm going to be doing this or that, and so, I need some time. Don't come barging in screaming about something.
So what do your kids think about your business?
They're really excited about it, and they're excited because, for so long, they haven't seen the fruits of any of it. I've been working, I've made a little bit of money, and, it's just paid bills, and it's not anything that they've ever seen. So they're just like, oh, Mom, you're still working. But now I'm talking about, yes, we're going to, come down to Vegas, and we're going to do some fun things. And then we're going to take some vacations. We're going to do some things. We're doing some projects at the house. And, they're like, really? We are? And yeah, we have money to do that now. And that is, they're like, oh, okay. We really can get tickets to this thing, and we can go to this camp. Yeah, we can do that. So they love it, and they're really excited about it now. And they're like, my daughter's like, I told her I'm getting interviewed tonight. She's like, oh, you're famous?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you are.
My face is on the internet, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and I got chills when you said that, because it is. The ability to have that little extra cash and be able to start doing things besides just surviving. Yeah. And I think that's a massive thing that, a lot of people we're in this space and we're just surviving it. We're making just enough to kind of get by. But the ability to have that extra little spending money to do something nice for yourself is really a lot of the reasons why we get into this industry and why we look to make money online, because we want to have a bigger cushion. We want to have a little money to do the things we want to do with our lives, and have that time with our family and children and such. So, I mean, that's, I think, a huge piece. But I want to take this back just a moment here, and because when you first got online, you were getting online as a network marketer. So you have a network, an MLM company that you're excited about, that you're still working, right? So it's not like this dropped completely out of your life. But it was interesting to hear you transition. Like, you're a network marketer who went online to find a way to build leads, right? Mm-hmm. And what did that look like for you in terms of that journey to getting to you where you are now? Can you kind of explain a little bit of what that transition looked like for you?
Sure. Well, I struggled for a long time because I didn't, when we talk, even like when you read AMF, what's that, Attraction Marketing Formula, they ask you questions like, well, are you going after a health and wellness market, or are you going after people who are business builders, because they're different markets, and they sort of cross, but they don't really cross, and you got to pick one to start. And so I struggled with that because I love my MLM. I think it's just like excites me to the core of my soul. It's changed my health and changed my life and changed my family. So I love it. But then I looked at the other side of business building, and I really, really struggled for a long time, and I kept asking the same question over and over again. I'd ask it to Tim Irway, I'd ask it to Katrina, I'd ask it to, Andrew, I've asked it to Nick, I've asked it to all those people, like, I don't know how to put this together. I just couldn't see it, and I don't know, and that's part of the reason why I struggled. That's why I got off track. That's why I stopped, because I didn't know what to do. And so I think that's part of the reason why when Katrina and I had that conversation, and she's like, you have a business. You have this amazing business. You've been doing it for 14 years. You've got an awesome skill set. That's your business. Like, you've kicked off the training wheels. That's what we train you to do in EMP, is kick off the training wheels and have a business, and you've done it. And I was like, duh, why didn't I see that? And in fact, I was just reading over my SMART goals, and I was like, yeah, when I make this amount of money, I'm going to take down my editing gig, and I won't edit anymore. And I was like, how stupid. I was this close. I've been this close probably for 2 years to where I am now. And because I didn't see it, couldn't put it together for whatever reason, I literally pushed it away. I literally said, I'm not going to grow my editing business. This is my side thing. I'm a network marketer, yada, yada. I'm not going to build this. So I purposely kept it small. I purposely didn't market it. I purposely didn't add video. I didn't add any other gigs. I didn't do anything that I could have done to grow this business. So literally, I could have been in this space where I am now 2 years ago, and I pushed it away. So the transition to where I am now is that my core goal is to help other moms be able to earn an income from home. And that to me, as a network marketer, that's my core goal. In my MLM with the actual products, that's my goal. And so now I'm doing that through editing, because I'm helping other small business owners, and a lot of them are moms. I'm helping them to build their businesses from home. So now I'm coming at this from a different perspective of, I have now built a successful business. I don't have to pretend anymore. I don't have to borrow anybody else's authority. I don't have to put stuff out there and hope that nobody finds out that I'm this great big fraud because I haven't built a huge business, because I've done it now. I have a real business. It's functioning. I'm using marketing. I'm growing my business. I know what I'm doing. And so now I'm turning that around to say, I can show moms how to build a business. And I can do that in a number of ways. So I can show them all the different ways. If they need to learn marketing, I have EMP, and I can plug them in there, and I'll be their coach. If they're looking for a business, or they're looking for a way to help their families, I have my MLM. But in any way, shape, or form, I can help them build a business, and I can help them make their lives better. And so now it's come together, and now it's completely clear to me how it's all one whole thing, where I struggled with that for so long. And Katrina's laughing right now.
No, I'm actually crying because I'm getting emotional, because I remember where you were last year when we had this conversation, and the growth that you just shared with us right now, that leadership that you just took on and what you just said is a tremendous growth. And I am so proud of you right now. Like, I am literally in tears, because you have grown into an amazing leader and an amazing business owner, and just watching you transition to literally what you just said right now, how you understand what it means to build a business and help other people. You are an elite marketing pro. You are absolutely, without a doubt, a top elite person for this because you, amazing. I'm truly blessed to know you. You're amazing.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. So,
yeah, your positioning right now is one of strength and authority, and you did not have that last year, and you have it to your core now. And I'm so proud of you.
Aw, thanks. You're going to make me cry, too.
Now, girls.
No, but, and I just want, I mean, it's a process and it's a journey, and that's just the amazing thing is that when you stick with this, and you know, I remember you telling me that you felt like a failure with Elite Marketing Pro because you weren't being successful. You felt like you weren't building your MLM business, and you had so many things that you felt like you weren't doing, but you were doing something so extraordinarily well, and that was building your editing piece of your business. And the fact that you were doing it and you just kept going at it, and it was, I mean, that transition, you and how you put it together for your clients was just amazing, and you've just done so incredibly well with this. It's amazing to watch that journey. And it took you about, you know, for me, it's watching you grow over the year, but it's been probably about 18 months, 12 to 18 months, somewhere in there, that journey. And I would say it's very typical for people that stick with this. It's a 12 to 18 month journey, and somewhere in that period of 12 to 18 months, magic is where it really happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. There's just, it takes time to move into that space, and you know, you can read all the Jim Rohn quotes you want, and you know, do all the classes that you want, but there's still, like, you're grasping, you know, like I understand, I know what a capture page is, and you know, like I can talk the talk, I can do the jargon with people, but I'm not there. Like, I am not the leader yet. And you know, and I've seen it with you. I've seen it with Nick too, because you know, I've known Nick now for 2 years and change. And I remember going to, you know, NES 2 years ago, and he's like a kid, you know, and I'm like, I talk to you like you're my son. It's kind of funny. And then last year at NES, I was like, you're all grown up now, you know, like he turned, that year for him was when he turned into a leader, and he turned into, you know, the guy who knew and who was in charge, and you could go to him for answers, and you know, he wasn't just the kid that was like sort of there and sort of playing. So I see it with everybody that, you know, there's a time and a space, and we've talked about this the other night with the other ladies, you know, with Hillary and you know, Bernie and Penny, and you know, we've watched all of them go through this same growth process too. And it just takes time to move into it. And so, but be persistent, and it comes.
Well, I've got one question I do have to ask this, and here it is. Tell us something about you that no one else knows about.
No one else knows about. Well, I showed off my chickens this morning. That's not a. Let's see, what does no one else know? Gosh, I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty much an open book. I'm like Katrina. I don't have a huge filter, and I just, like, if there's news to share, I share it. Gosh, I don't know. I have no idea what no one knows about me.
Doug's really good at asking that question.
I am, and we, you know, we'll kind of help bail you out, but you know, there's something back there from when you were little that nobody knows.
Oh, let's
You probably
see.
haven't even told your kids.
You've got like 30 seconds, because we
30
really,
seconds.
you have less than 30 seconds.
Okay, I'll tell you a funny story, because Doug said when I was a kid. So when I was a kid, we had the neighbor across the street who never mowed their lawn, and like it was a huge eyesore. And so all of the neighbors got together to clean up their yard. And, you know, it was a big neighborhood party. And so I had laid down my bike, and I picked up my bike to go riding down the street, and there was a rip in the seat of my bike, and all of the hornets from the hornet's nest that they knocked down went into my bike seat. And
oh my goodness.
yeah, that wasn't so pretty. So there's a lovely image for you. I had to go home screaming, holding my derriere, Mom! Oh my gosh! So yeah, And then all the neighbors were there. Yeah, it was great.
All right. So we are officially over time frame. So I want to know real quick, Danielle, where can people reach out and find you and connect with you on social media or anywhere on the internet? What's a good way to connect with you?
You can get me on Facebook. My business page is Danielle Ellis. You can, or Danielle Sweet Ellis is my home one. I'm on Google Plus, just under my name. You can find me, or in the EMP communities. Reach out there.
Awesome. All right. So, Doug, you got anything to wrap up real quick?
Just thank you so much, Danielle. It was great, hearing your story and talking to you. And there's a lot of great educational points in here that you pointed out. So, thank you so much for that. It's really been fun having you on. Time flies. 29 minutes is not long enough.
It's not. Well, thanks for having me. I've sure enjoyed it.
All right, hold on just a sec, guys. If you want to catch up more on us and join us live on our 29-minute Hangout, make sure you guys like our Google Plus page, Elite Marketing Chefs. Also, if you want to hear the recording or catch all of our previous 29-minute Hangouts, you can go over to iTunes and just look up 29-minute Hangout and find us there. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.